Welcome to So You Think You Can Homeschool. My name is Aja McNair. I am so excited that you are here today. I am an educational consultant. I have been over kindergarten through fifth grade. I've been a curriculum specialist. I have been an administrator over early childhood education, meaning that as a curriculum specialist, I've been over all things teaching and learning, kindergarten all the way through fifth grade. So my background is in teaching. Amen. I do have my master's and my bachelor's degree in early childhood education, and then my specialist degree in educational leadership. So I have been in this realm of education for quite some time. I have over 15 years in education. And 10 of those years were in Title I schools. And now I have transitioned out of the public school system into my own business as an educational consultant. So that's a little bit about me. If you are new here or if you are true here, hey, comment down below in the chat box. Let me know how long have you either been wanting to homeschool? How long have you been a teacher? Maybe you're transitioning to homeschool. Just kind of give me a little background. Give me a little background. I do currently I like to say I'm a working homeschool mom, as I do own my own business. But it was nothing. It was so. Um, I know y'all like, what is going on with her? I was trying to figure out how to get into the story. So being a mom, right, is a lot of work. Any moms out there? Okay, hopefully, probably all of y'all are moms, right? We're talking about So You Think You Can Homeschool. But being a mom, what I realized, believe it or not, I was a teacher first, and then an administrator, and then a mom. And so when I transitioned into motherhood, one thing that I realized is that the need, right, of education in the home front. I was getting a lot of comments everywhere I go. People were like, how did you get your daughter to talk so well? How did you know to teach this to your child and all this other stuff? And I realized that I had a background in education, and so yes, that made me more qualified to do things like homeschooling. However, not only did it make me more qualified, but it also allowed me to see the gap that exists between education and the parent sector. And so this isn't just a one off thing. This series, So You Think You Can Homeschool, is to help bridge that gap in between education and homeschooling. And so, as one that has the background of education that also is a homeschool mom, I just want to dive into helping you each and every day. So think of this like almost like a treat, right? You know how you do the countdown to Christmas? We are doing 21 days of So You Think You Can Homeschool. Over the next course, right, of the next 21 days, I'm going to be live every single day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you one tip every single day. So make sure you let all of your other parents know. Make sure you let your friends know, even if they are wanting to homeschool next year. You know, we're in the middle of transitioning into a new year. Or if they're thinking about homeschooling, or new to homeschooling, or true to homeschooling, make sure that you invite them here to our amazing challenge. I like to say challenge because it is kind of a challenge. There is also a workbook that goes directly with the challenge. So if you go to everythingaja.com/homeschool, you can actually download the free ebook that goes directly with this challenge. Okay. And so with that ebook, I actually kind of want to show the ebook just so that you guys can see it. But with the ebook, it has a place. Let me just show the ebook. Can I show the ebook real quick? I just want to show the ebook before we get in the tip for today, just so you know everything that is included in it and why it is so important for you to grab the ebook. All right, so you guys can see my screen. Yes, there we go. Awesome. All right, so this is the ebook that goes along with the challenge. So you think you can homeschool 21 days to confidently teach your child to read. All right, it has the table of contents, a little bit about myself. And then this is the part I love. So if you're new to homeschooling or you just want to know a little bit more about it, there is a homeschooling 101. I broke down, what is homeschool, the legal requirements of it, challenges when it comes to homeschooling, and then different methods that's out there about homeschooling. And then there's a whole section of the benefits of homeschooling. Why is it that so many of us are running to homeschooling? Over the last few months, as you notice, I have been talking about what's happening in the political realm and why it is so important that every single parent has the means, resources, and the opportunity to homeschool their own child. Well, here are even more benefits and even more ramifications of the importance of that. And then we are here. So over the course of the next 21 days, right? This one thing I love about this ebook is that you could type directly in here. Okay. So today we're talking about overcoming the fear of I'm not qualified. And you can literally enter your notes here. Okay. You can enter all your notes here, save this document, and then over the next 21 days, come in, fill in your notes. And then at the end, you can write any additional notes here. All right. And then, of course, we have our the next 3 secrets to teaching reading would be the next step if you want to go even further in your teaching journey. So once again, I just want to welcome you to So You Think You Can Homeschool Day 1. Now, normally I would have a ton of slides to show you guys. Anybody that's ever gone to one of my lives, I really do it almost like presentation style. However, today I wanted it to be a little bit more informal since this is day 1. I just kind of want to break the ice a little bit, get our seats a little warm into understanding that you as a parent indeed are qualified. So today we're talking about just overcoming the fear. I do not have a million slides, right? These are probably like the only few slides I am going to show you, but can we just have a real talk? And if you're watching the replay, please comment down below in the chat box. I want us to get real. Okay, can we get real? Can you just agree to get real with me? Over the course of the next 21 days, as I'm going live every single day, Monday through Friday. Monday through Sunday. Every day, 7 days of the week. Come on now, Sunday today. But over the course of the next 21 days, I want to answer questions. I'm giving my expertise to you for free. So definitely take advantage of this time here to get into the nitty-gritty of homeschooling. All right. So I just want to say, like, if you've ever thought I can't teach or I'm not qualified, you are not alone because many parents feel this way. I cannot tell you how many parents I get that come to me wanting to teach a child how to read, and they're like, but I don't have the degree in it. Or well, I don't know these terms. And you guys can drop them down below in the chat box. What are some other limiting beliefs? So I want to go over this real quick. 60% of children, and I say this in each and every one of my webinars, 60% of children that enter into kindergarten are classified as not ready, and they start off schooling behind. And then of that 60%, right, only about 14% of those children actually catch up with their peers. Well, if you just look at the statistics, that's entering into kindergarten, meaning that the qualifications of a child being on grade level actually start off before they're 4, right? So when you think about that, who has children before they're 4? Their parents, right? And so you see that even the psychology behind being kindergarten readiness falls back on the parent. So it's not that you're not qualified, because you don't need any qualifications to teach a 2 to 4-year-old. It's that you do not understand your value as a parent educator. And so my job over the next 21 days is to help you tap into who you are as a parent and your value of being a parent educator. I don't want you to think of, I need to be a teacher for my child. No, You are qualified for who you are. Why? Because God gave you the child in the first place. And so understand, because God has given you that child, He is saying, I trust you. He is saying, I believe in you. He is saying, you have everything you need to be an effective parent educator. Amen. I also want to bring up another study. There was another study done in 2015. Now, this is before the pandemic. This is before half of America was homeschooling. And in this 2015 study done by the National Home Education Research Institute, I know that's long, they found out that homeschooled students actually score 15 to 30 percentile points higher on state standardized tests. And this is, ready for this, regardless of the parent's educational background. So we see that children that are homeschooled actually score higher than children that are in public schools on these state standardized tests. And so because we have that data point, right, we know the importance of a parent educator. Another data point is the U.S. Department of Education actually reported that homeschooling actually fosters more one-on-one attention, leading to stronger academic growth, mainly than traditional classrooms. So why is this? If we can just dive into this a little bit. You said, thank you, Aja. This is fantastic and timely, and your ebook is fire. Yes. Yes, I'm so glad that you're enjoying the ebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited that you are here for this 21-day journey. Amen. Amen. So excited for that. Welcome. Tell me a little bit more about yourself, the age of your child, and your expertise. Like, how long have you been homeschooling? And so I just want to, now that we said the data, right? I told you I was going to be really, really informal on this first one because I just need us to understand our value. Well, when you look at the data, right? So kids that are homeschooled actually score higher on state standardized tests because they're able to provide more of that one-on-one attention. If you've never been in a classroom, it may be kind of hard to relate to this, but because I've had all three roles, I would be remorse to think that God did not give me that background so that I could see this different lens or different perspective. But I remember teaching in the classroom, and I'm one of those teachers that love to go above and beyond. So like, I did not mind giving up my lunch. I did not mind keeping kids after school. That was just me. But the average teacher does not do all of that. And so when you have a classroom of, 20 children, even with giving up your lunches, staying after school, there was no way I could reach every child one-on-one. There was no way. And for me, I remember I had a classroom and all of my children, I was teaching fifth grade, but all of my children were reading on the kindergarten and first grade level. And yes, small group is amazing, but some children need that one-on-one time. Well, homeschooling, right? On the flip side, when I started homeschooling my daughter and I was able to give her that one-on-one support, I realized this is what all children need. There's a reason why the data behind homeschooling is so high. And it's because you are able to cater to a child's need. See, when you have an entire classroom of children, you end up either having to teach something to a child that they already know, or you're teaching something above where the child is ready for. Okay. And that creates all of these gaps within children. Well, with homeschooling, because you can cater the instruction and cater the curriculum directly to their needs, they do not have these gaps. So why is this important? Why am I even bringing this up? Well, simply because you don't have to be qualified to teach a child one-on-one. If the key is meeting a child, right where they are, then it's not a matter of having the right degree. It's not a matter of having the right background. It's a matter of having the right support and strategy, right? To understand, okay, what does the child already know, right? So that they're not sitting there learning stuff that they already know, right? Or that I'm not teaching stuff that they're not ready for. So it's really more of a mind shift change, right? Because the data shows us that homeschooling actually is provides better results than the traditional school setting, right? And as one that has been in both of those settings, I've been able to see that the traditional, even with the best degrees, and I have 3 degrees, with all those degrees in the classroom, there's only so much you can do. That homeschooling kind of breaks those barriers for. Studies also show that the parental involvement with homeschooling is one of the strongest predictors of student success. And so when the parent, you, are so invested in their education, that's one of the strongest predictors of how successful a child is going to be. There was another study done in the Journal of Education that stated 82%. Yeah, that's majority. 82% of homeschooling parents actually reported an increased closeness with their child as a major benefit of homeschooling. So not only does homeschooling, right, provide higher results than the average traditional public school system, but it also now kind of creates that bond and that glue within the family dynamic. I know when I started teaching my daughter, she would wake me up at 8 o'clock in the mornings on Saturdays. Oh, I miss these days. I need to go back to be like, hey, but just to do educational games. Even now, she's constantly asking me, Mom, can you make more games? Why? Because it creates that bonding time. It creates that closeness, and you don't have to be qualified to teach your child, right? You don't have to be qualified. God qualified you when he gave you your child. When that child was formed in your room, he qualified you to teach your child. He qualifies you the moment where he says, I trust you enough to give you this child. Okay, a little bit of your background. 2 decades in K-12 education, math, then an instructional coach. So, okay, so you're like me, you've been in the educational realm for a while. You started out as a virtual coach and consulting business in 2021, homeschooling an almost 3-year-old and loving every moment. I love that. I love that. I love that we have a lot of similarities. I love that we have a lot of similarities. Because I've been, yeah, homeschooling about the same length of time. And just like you, I had that educational background. So I would love to know more even about teaching your 3-year-old. I just actually released a curriculum that will go hand in hand for that. You said these are the facts. It was a hard transition at first. It is hard. It is hard. And so for those of you guys that have not made that transition into homeschooling, I hope that this over these next 21 days, that these 21 days will kind of help you do that transition. You say you just started in October after a year of daycare. You feel so close to your baby girl. This is how it's supposed to be. I love that. I love that. This is how it is supposed to be. Ooh, I need somebody else to repeat that. This is how it is supposed to be. When we think about it, and for those that don't know, I am a minister, so you see you see it coming out. I can't ignore who God has made me to be. But when you really kind of look at the way God, really kind of laid out the world, right? He Adam and Eve. We go all the way back to Adam and Eve. It was always meant for the mom to carry children, right? That's why childbirth is so important. And so you almost see like, or you're like, this is how it's supposed to be. You almost see like we're going back to how God originally ordained it to be, right? There is this closeness that teaching indwells. I love even mixing in learning about the Bible in education. Like last night, my daughter and I were sitting here, we read the Bible, as a part of one of our reading resources. And so I love that this is how it's supposed to be. It is. And the reason, not only are the results high, but we have to understand that we are qualified the moment that God says, here's a child. You already have what it takes. You have a deep understanding of your child. You have the passion for them to succeed, right? I cannot tell you how many parents I've run into that are like, well, when they get to school, why do you think that a stranger is going to care more about your child than you? No, you have everything it takes in order for a child to succeed. You have the deep understanding of who the child is as a parent. You have the passion for them to succeed. You want them to succeed, and that passion goes a long way. And then you have the willingness to learn aside them. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have, the background, those three things are the key ingredients, right, of what it takes to be able to teach a child. And as a parent, you have all three of them. You have the passion, the understanding, and the willingness. Okay. I want you to just comment down below. What is one strength that you have that can actually help your child succeed? Okay. What is one strength that you have? Okay, is it patience? Is it creativity? Is it problem solving? One thing that you have, I need you to write it down in the chat box. And then what we're going to do is I need you to begin to write that down in your workbook right now, because this is going to become your daily affirmation. Even if you don't come to any of the rest of the next 20 days, right? I need you to walk away with understanding, right? That you have what it takes. Okay. Yes, homeschooling in itself, right? It has the accolades that we just went over the what I'm trying to say, the research behind why homeschooling is important. But now we need a transition, and I need you to understand that the moment God gave you that child, he is saying that you are qualified. He is saying that you are qualified. He is saying that you are qualified. So what is one thing that you already have, right, that is going to allow your child to be successful, and then it's going to allow you to be successful as their teacher? So I want you to think one thing right now. I need y'all to write it down, right? Because what is it going to take? We just went over them. A deep understanding of the child, the passion, and the willingness. That's all it takes, right? As to be a good teacher, that's what you need. And so now you're thinking about your strengths, right? I want you to think about your characteristics. Are you patient? Are you creative? Even if you're not creative, are you a rule follower? Because if you're a rule follower, all you need is a good curriculum, baby, and you got it. Are you creative? Are you kind of quick on your feet? Are you really good at problem solving? All right. You said patience. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Isn't it good that patience is a natural thing? That nobody has to teach you about patience. That's one of those things that kind of had to grow on me. I know. So I want you now to turn that into an affirmation. So how do we turn this? I want to use yours as an example. You said patience. Okay. Um, um, you can turn into affirmation multiple ways, right? I'm gonna do a few, and then whatever like kind of hit your spirit. My patience is enough for me to teach my child. Okay? Because God gave me my child, I have the patience in order to teach my child. You can even insert the child's name. Okay. Patience allows me to be qualified to teach my child. Okay. My patience allows me to be able to teach everything my child needs to know. Everything. Okay. And so what you're gonna do, even if you're watching the replay, I want you to like do the same activity. Because we're gonna be diving into the first few sessions, right? Is going over mindset, but then we're gonna be diving into the actual pedagogy or what to actually teach when it comes to homeschooling. But the first part is understanding this right in here. Understanding that you have everything it takes. You have the patience, you have the creativity. Even if you're not creativity, do you follow instructions? Because that's where people like me that are creative, we can give you those kind of activities. But you have everything you need. Homeschooling isn't about being the most qualified. It isn't about being the most committed. It's the connection you share with your child that is going to be the greatest teaching tool going forward. I'm going to say that one more time. Homeschooling isn't about being the most qualified. It isn't about being the most committed. It's all about the connection that you share with your child that is your greatest teaching tool. And so you have the workbook. Make sure you get that workbook. Sign up for the this journey with me officially at everythingaja.com/homeschool. Make sure you grab that ebook. That ebook not only has a place for the notes, in your notes, you have a place to write this affirmation down for today. Make sure you grab that ebook. Look, Miss Mimi said this was very informative. This is just day one, y'all. This is just day one. Day one. Day one of this 21-day journey. So I will be live. I want y'all to come if you have any questions. This is your time to get all of your questions answered. Tomorrow we're going to be diving into this concept even a little deeper. So make sure you tune in tomorrow again at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be the same length of time, very quick. We're going to be diving into why you don't need a degree to teach reading. So now that you understand that you're qualified to homeschool your child, tomorrow we're going to be diving into more or less in the ramifications of reading, why you don't need a teaching degree to teach reading to your child. So I'm so excited that you guys are here. Miss Mimi and Dr. Let me make sure I say it. O'Garo. Did I say it right? Dr. O'Garo. I'm so excited that you guys were able to join live. I look forward to seeing you guys over the next 21 days. Welcome once again to So You Think You Can Homeschool. I am so excited that you guys are here on this journey. Until tomorrow, remember you are qualified and God has given you everything you need in order to teach your child. See you same place, same time.